Hello everyone, welcome back to the session. This is TDPVista's Independence Day March, and today we are going to continue with the project work that we were supposed to work upon. Okay, so let's proceed for now. Till yesterday we have did a few things. Let's get back with starting the server. Okay, so it's the server connected, and let's get back to Firebase. Okay. Hmm. No chat messages. If you have any issues, any queries, anyone, like you can do one thing, you can put on your chats here, you can drop the message here. Last time students were facing the issue for the quality, so we increased the quality. Now you can check that out. Further things, if you have any issues, any difficulties for understanding anything, you can just drop the chat here. We'll look for this thing. Okay. Here we were working upon Firebase real-time database and authentication. We already had one email ID, test@tdpvista.com. And the password could be anything. Will be just 128. This was the password. One thing. Getting back here, everything was done. Authentication and all. Okay. It's corrected the text over there. Now, today we are going to work with the chat system. This chat listing and the entire messages. Okay. Also in the bottom tab, we'll be having a message bar and a send message button. This is the bottom bar. We'll copy this entire input field, paste it out here. This will be handle as just writing MSG for message. Okay. Placeholder will be message or enter your message here. Something like this. Content and all, everything is same as it was other side. Okay. Handle MSG is something that's not right now. So do one thing. Handle MSG is now done. Set MSG, and we also create a variable as MSG. Okay, or a state as a MSG. Okay, that's it, done. Now we have the input field here. Not a very difficult task, right? Now let's look over a few things. This is not going to be the only thing inside this section. First of all, we'll have two things. One will be the input field where we'll be typing the message, and the other one will be the button, text button, or the send button. We could say that as it will be the send button. So we can either do one thing, we can make this as the flex. After that, we could create a button and write here send. We'll take the class properties as it is, paste it over here, send, save, and that's it. The button is present over here, send button. Okay, this is all that was needed, right? Now, that's not enough for now. We'll do a few more things. For now, if we remove this height, what will happen? Let's see. Or if we write it as auto, height just got adjusted automatically as per the requirement. Okay, this input field will do one thing. We'll put on here text area. But exactly the text area. Text area is a message box where a person can write messages in multiple lines, something like this. Okay, removing the margin bottom. That's it. Good to go. Upper part is a bit okay. We can put on some content over there. Let's see in some time. This is the send button. This is the message area. You can put on the message. You can type anything here and you can send it out. Okay, whatever you will be typing, that handle MSG will be handling of that entire content. Okay, we'll have to put on an on click, send message. What exactly will be the send message button? It will just be a function which will be creating, or which will be sending a message to any other person, and it will by the API system. Okay, that's it. Now I have something to write over here at the top. Colors not. No, I think I have to change the color with this. Sorry for that. Proceeding ahead with the top one, we will be putting on some content over here. Height for this one also will be auto. Heading. Text will be 3x, or like we could say it as 2x. We will be surely putting the color in white and the background will be a bit darker. Slate 50. BG will not be red and 700. Let's keep it as blue 900. Okay. Let me put it as H10. Far more better. Got a bit darker. Let's put it as 700. Not that one. This one. Okay. Going for 800. Not too different, but yeah, bit okay. 14. Good enough. 16, 20, we'll just reach 20. 14 is enough. Let's type here something. Basically, this will be a variable. Okay. Chat with. Right. Chat with. This will be the person whom with we will be chatting with. Set chat with. Chat with is here. I think it will be in this format. Like this. Okay. We will be surely putting on some content over here. Some paddings, some simple paddings. Before, good enough. Margins are also okay with every side. Px2 and py4. I think now this alignment will be better. It got a bit better. And if we are going with this one, the px section, we can do this also as 4. This one is 4. Sorry for the misconception, no issues with that. So now here we'll be sending and retrieving the messages. Okay, basically we are going to connect up with two different databases. I have this one project. Okay, I'll be creating one more project that will be test2. There will be two users, will be operating two users simultaneously, operating over two different projects and connecting over that. Message area and all, everything is over. Okay, if you want, you can just do one thing. Before, you can see the typing region here. Okay, if you want, we can mixing up with a few colors. I think we are good enough with the no padding. Leave the design structure for now, not getting stuck with that. You could just give a very slight margin. That's too looking very odd. Leave the margin for now and the entire structure for that. Now we will handle the message sending and the looping, printing. Okay, that means this entire area will be looped and printed by a map. This will be set chat and this will be chat. Chat dot map. Now, here surely we'll be getting a proper function. One will be data, second one will be index. or the ID one. Okay, which we'll be putting on as a key ID. First thing, if data dot sender dot UID. This could be the UID thing, or you could also keep it something like something identical. Okay, like this will be the condition one, where we'll be returning something, else we'll be returning something else. Two conditions. Okay, by default that's null. We'll look for that too. That if something is null, if a map is null, how exactly you are supposed to loop it out. Okay, for that you'll have to just follow a very simple thing. Chat not equal to null question mark this else null. That's it. If the chats are null, you could either displace everything as null, or you could just create a division. In this division we'll be writing a few classes. Flex, justify center, h1 class text to excel text gray 500, and here we'll writing no messages found. Just handling it up. No message. Okay. The UI is not that good enough, but yeah, just for some general practice, we are going to use that out only for this demonstration and for your understanding. In further time, we'll be improving that a lot once we are going to release this application in the market. Now, same looping thing. This was the chat. Okay. Other than chat, we also have a proper record of connections. We'll set up connections and we'll look for the connections. Okay, same thing will be mapped here. If connections not equal to null, then you have to print this thing, or you have to map this thing. Okay, whatever you could feel like you could say about that. This is the map, something like this. Same thing, data index. Everything will be working over in under this function only. Nothing is going to get linked anywhere else. So no issues with the system for that. Okay, here we'll just put on return and the general output. Removing this thing out, and we are done. We were not having any chats right now because that was null. So we got the output as this null, nothing. Okay. Now we'll be creating something in the databases, and first of all we'll be also cloning the project, creating a new Firebase project, IDM project to continue, enabling analytics and all everything. Default Firebase account for payments. Now everything, whatever we are looking upon, now everything is getting looped up, getting connected with the event handlings. Any connections, any messages? None for now. Until this we'll set up in some time. And for the real-time database architecture, creating a database log mode, we'll just convert that to true. Every time you are not supposed to convert that to true. It will be there will be a few parameters. If any person is authenticated, then only he must log, like he must be able to retrieve something or view something. We look for that sector also sometime. Authentication. So we'll just enable get started with authentication also. Enabling only the email ID password. Same thing. Adding user. Here we were having test at TDPVista.com. Here we'll have test2 at TDPVista.com. Add user. That's it. We are done. Right. Now, a few things go right away. First of all, we'll be looking for the message system. Or before that, we could either also look for the chat system, like retrieving the chats, connections, and all. Okay. First of all, let's add a node CON connection. Here we'll be adding an ID, and the ID could be something else like test2 at tdpvista.com. Get current timestamp. I need the current timestamp, that's it, nothing else. Value, that's it, adding for now. Just a few things added. What was the issue? Connection test2 at user.com. Time value add. I think this is the issue for now. Let's try it out once again. Connection test2 time and the values add. That's it. Added. This is the user ID or username, whatever whichever will be used for communicating between two people. Okay, and this basically like time or reports we could save as anything, like whenever the person is willing to connect around. Test two, first of all. Or we could also like keep this ID or something also for the same here once we are looking for. Let's go ahead. Here we'll be fetching the list, how many connections we are having right now. We are having this use effect on our state changes looking up. Okay. We are having this user also. We have done the functionality of setting the user. Now, let's look upon uh, get data. We call a very simple function like get data. We'll create a constant get data. And what we are going to do? We are going to connect this with the Firebase real-time database. How? Let's go to docs. Find it out. How? Building a real-time database. First, we'll have to import a few things from Firebase database, and that's it. First of all, reading the data. This is supposed to be imported from Firebase database, and this database is supposed to be created. First thing. Second thing. Done. Ref set. Set is something which we are using basically for setting data, but for now we just want to retrieve on value. On value is something whenever we will be getting any new data, it will be just getting popped up. Okay. Or it will be getting refreshed up automatically on its own. Okay, we do not have to do anything for that. Now, yeah, database is also supposed to be exported like this. Good enough. Good enough. Now, this DB is already imported. This is the database which is already created and imported. We can directly use it out here. Okay. Saving it out. This is database. Now we can see this is also added on its own. Okay. We can make it as any kind of variable. Like for now, we can make it as chat ref. Okay. On value of chat ref. This will be just this is connection difference now, so we'll have to name it as connection difference. That's it. Database connection, and that too slash connection, nothing else. We'll be looking for the data, and we'll just we'll be just taking a snapshot, getting the values, and we'll just console log the data whatever we are getting. After that, I'll let you know how to put on, how to parse that into the array, and then how we are supposed to loop that out. Okay, get data slash connection database on ref is supposed to be imported here, and like on value and ref, two things. Now imported, getting back error. Ref is not a function. Ref we imported, right? Ref is imported. Ref is imported. Ah, it worked. I think no. Let's refresh once. The reference is a function, and we are supposed to use that to is saying a compiled successfully. Index.js line number 45 reference database connection. Do we have any other REF? Any other REF? No, there are only two. Just getting refreshed up also. Connection difference, connection difference. This is REF. Let's check it out. Hmm. It is a function. Always it is a function. Just need to check out why this issue is getting popped up. Is the best thing that we can do here is turning off the server once and then switching it on once again. Maybe there might be some issues with the server stack, and that's the reason it creates the problems. Again, database is exported here, database is imported here and getting used in the reference. Now we are having REF. Let's do one thing. We should REF as DREF. Okay, copying it out, putting it as here, and that's it. Let's see now. Firebase.js unhandled runtime error. It is a type error. Webpack imported module 3 dot af is not a function. We can also look for the child approach, get approach. Like we can also look for the get approach. If the thing is facing some issue on value, we can look for the get approach also. But that too does not creates this kind of issue. We'll make it like this. Will be saying up popping up in the same manner. Commenting out, we'll have to debug the first this step, then only we'll be able to look for anything else. Okay, this is a database. Get database initialized successfully. Moving this one. The reference imported db post id. Also, we could do one thing now instead of creating this as an issue. Okay, now let's first of all fix this thing up. Why this was the issue? We just import the module from a bad approach. Now, this is working. If we look upon here, we have an object test2. But this is something that we have in the database. We have the output as the test2. Now, we'll loop First of all, we'll get the, like this is an object, we'll have to get the keys, right? So first thing that will be used here will be the keys operation. Variable keys equal to object dot keys of this data, and once we have the keys, we'll loop this out for variable I equal to 0, I less than keys dot length I plus plus, looping it all over console dot log data of keys of I, removing this one, saving it, and we got the output as this. Also, we could check out that for which ID we got this, we can directly log it out here, keys I comma data. Now for test 2 we are having these details, same goes in. Okay, we'll be having multiple people, they'll be getting displayed as test 2, test 3, test 4, and we'll be able to add on their buttons in the left side. Okay, now we have to look upon for the addition of those variables or that data into the array. Okay, now we have this keys name or the person name and the timestamp. We exactly need just this variable. Okay, we'll create a variable here, variable arr. First of all, for this variable we'll be just giving it assigned with a blank array. Once this blank array is assigned, we'll continue further with the loop system. In the loop, we will be looking for the arr dot push, and this push will be the keys of I. Okay, removing this console log. Now once this keys of I is sent to the CONN map, like this is, once this is set to the array, we'll have to after completion of the loop, we'll just set connection and we'll just replace it with the ARR. Now whatever is getting pushed in the ARR array, we'll be having that into the CONN as a state variable. Okay, once this is done, data will be the output here, and we'll be able to key this thing with the index. That's it. This is the test 2. Once we are clicking over here, we'll have to put on some on click button or something. Once we are clicking over to this on click, we need to take some action. For taking the actions, we have a lot more kind of properties. We have to pass this variable into some data sort or something. For that, we could not just pass this using a button or using a variable. We'll have to take the help of a form for this. Okay, button type we can keep as submit. This key will be not here, it will be used to put over here. Okay, on click is also not supposed to be added here for now. Button is going to be of type submit. Okay, we'll just have an on submit, handle chat action. We'll just create this one. We'll have an input field. Input type will be hidden. We'll have the name as, like, you could say it as chat ID, and the value will be data. That's it. Now we have to handle this form submission over that particular button. Send message function is going to get duplicated once again. Now, once you have this handle chat action, messages, like chat, a thing. Once you have these handle actions, we'll be looking for the further classification, further actions. That will be first of all event handling, e dot prevent default, because whenever what happens, like we'll be calling a function, a form, now we'll be submitting a form, the page will be getting refreshed. So we'll have to handle the default action and we'll have to prevent it out. Once that action is taken, just look over the final submission. Just once we are clicking over here, we will be having a few things. Input type equal to submit, target form dot 0. We have a few things that do not having a lot of stuff. Like we have two things as the input. 0 is the input values, it is having as test2. Okay, and name, it might be also having a name. Chat ID. Okay, e dot, let's target out that, e dot target dot chat ID. Okay, got this dot value. That's it. We got the same text what is written over here as the output. That's it. Done. This is all what was required. We are done with the handling system now. Now, on particular button click, we have to fetch the messages of this particular user from the database and print it over. For that, not the connections, we'll have to create a new node, MSG. Same thing, test 2. Now, first of all, here we will be having the messages in timestamp. We have the timestamp, right? We have a lot of copied stuff. Once them we might also be having this timestamp. This is the timestamp remembered, right? First thing, this entire data. This is something, the timestamp. Into this timestamp, we can put on a message. Okay, this will be the node. Timestamp will be the node, and the next one will be the message. Or we could do one thing, MSG test message. That's it. The MSG test2. This will be the timestamp at what time the particular user has sent the message. This is the MSG message, and from here the particular user can read his message. Now we have this data. We can console log this data, setting it up. chat ID is going to be this value. Now we have to do a few things. Chat with and set chat with. Hello was the default value. Nothing will be the default value now. Set chat with chat ID, and the second one we'll be calling a function get messages with chat ID. We're duplicating this once again, duplicating this get message, like creating the function get messages, getting the variable chat ID. Now we will be logging out this particular variable chat ID here. Okay, sure, we'll be going to log it out like this. That's it, done. Refreshing it once again for you all. Nothing is over here. Just test 2. The person who we are going to chat with, his name will be at the top. Test 2, on clicking this, we got the output at line number 65, which was this console log. Now here we can handle the same functionality of this connection preference. Here we'll be getting it as MSG. We have the entire data MSG test2 MSG slash. Here we'll be putting it as chat ID plus or no plus, nothing, getting the entire data. Commenting this one out for now. Console.log. That's it, good enough. We'll be logging out the data. Clearing the console and clicked over. Got these IDs. First of all, surely we'll be looking for the keys. Once we got the keys, we'll check for the keys. Let's test it out. We got the keys. For every kind of key, we will be getting the entire chat data. We do not require these key IDs, right? So we just require the messages. Yeah, also, but we require the key IDs, right? We can also do one thing. Copy this text. Can create as a time. Well, that's it. Save. Okay. That's it, done. MSG and time. For data of keys. Look, that's it. This is something that it was supposed to pass on. And that will be in the chat. Here with this thing, we also require some stuff. I'll let you know what, how and how. Let current message be a object. MSG will be dot MSG. Here we will have time. Because you can also need time for sorting, right? And sender will be or like 0. Sender would be 0. 0 for the person itself. Send it out over here. Once this is going to get traced up, data dot sender at every particular instant, we'll check if data dot sender is equal to 0. We will give output as this left one. I think we'll have to shuffle it out once. like this. That's it, done. And the output will be like here. It will not be like this. It will be data dot msg. Same thing goes here also and here also. Okay. Clicking over here, got the message, text message. That means this user has sent that message as the test message. We will be having two stuff. If the person, if I am going to send messages to any other person, I'll be having all those messages here itself over myself. If the person who's going to retrieve, who's going to get the messages, he will be keeping only the messages what he is supposed to have on his own. Okay, that's the only thing. We just logged into this one thing, just created an sender node, and that's it. Enough. Okay. Once right now, like we just worked over with a few things. We just got the data from Firebase. Just looked off that particular data and added it directly towards to an array and printed over. Data is getting printed over, like if I'll just test message dem, it will be getting updated. Done. No refresh, nothing. Everything gets updated on its own. Okay. If I'll be just sending a message, it will be getting added here over the profile on its own. Like I'll just show you how. Send message. This is the send message function. Variable d equal to new date console dot log d. If I'll click over this button, got the date. D dot get time as a function. Clicking over here, I got the timestamp. The issue is timestamp length. It is in 12 and the other one is in 10. We can do a few things. We could either change this one to 12, move this one, it's 12 is good enough. Okay. Count is good enough. 12 because we are getting the entire data in milliseconds. So if we will be sending 4 or 5 messages in 1 second also, na, it will be not getting mixed up or merged up, or it will not be creating any kind of issue. If you would like to convert that to 10, na, just divide by 100, like you'll be able to reduce that right to no, digits. We'll be getting the output in 10. We'll be storing this as the message ID, or like variable time equal to this one. Now, what we'll require, set, because we are supposed to set some data into the Firebase like this. But for a few people who do not exactly know about the coding stuff, how to exactly put on the code, I'll just show you. This is the entire code. Set reference. The reference, we just have these details, and this is the this and that is going to be dropped over there That means set reference. How exactly we are going to set up the references? Just let we were having database reference to DREF. Okay, into this database reference we'll be having the database. First thing, this DB. Second one, the path where we are going to store. So MSG, and after that chat with the person whom we are chatting with, right? Into this person's node we are going to add a new array like this. So here will be the output, the message, entire node. Okay, this will be the node, this will be the data. Set is always supposed to be added with an ID, not like this. Adding it with a slash plus time. Okay, here we'll have the MSG. This will be some text, surely. Time, this will be the time only. Okay, time that we have as variable, just also getting written over here as time. Now this MSG, this message, how it is going to get connected over here is this method, MSG. Okay, this particular state, whatever we are having, whatever we are typing over here, now that. First of all, a condition will not be giving any error. If MSG is not equal to blank, then only we will be setting up the data, else no, that not. Okay, that's it, done. Clicked over here, we got the messages, wrote here hello, clicked over send, got the error. Set is not defined because we just forgot to import that from the Firebase in this file. In messages here, hello, send. Got the message here. Once we are getting the message, now we'll have to clear this console too. How? Exactly how? For that, we have a few things. We can access into this particular element by its ID, and we can remove the entire class thing. Or also, we can have the value of this particular as the MSG, which is getting handled upon every on change. Okay, on every on key up. So once this thing is done, reference thing is done. After that, at a dot, then this is a function set MSG as blank. That's it, done. Refreshing it out. Test 2, got the messages, new message, sent, done. Once the message is sent, you'll be getting it as the blank. Then everything is getting added over in the database according to the timestamps. Okay. Now we will have to create a system for dropping messages to any other particular person. For that, what you need, you'll just have to integrate the stuff with a very simple system, that's one signal. What you'll need, you'll have to integrate the push bulletin system. Whatever message you are sending, that particular message will be sent to the particular person's mobile phone by using one signal. I'll just let you know how one signal is working upon, what exactly one signal is, everything. From everything to everything. So just log in now. Then we can just do a few things. Create a new application. We can look for web. We can look for Google Android. We can even look for Apple iOS. First of all, for now, we'll go for web. Please enter your app name. That will be IDM. Configure your platform. Typical site, website plugin, or a custom. You could say it as a custom. Site name, IDM. Site URL. We'll have to set up a proper site URL. For example, like we could keep it as idm.tdpvista.com. We'll go with the subdomain classification if required. You can upload an ID. My site is fully HTTPS. No, it is fully HTTPS. That's it. There's the source code that we are supposed to put upon. That's it. You can even go to the one signal SDK file. You can download the SDK file zip like this. You are supposed to integrate the same over Next.js and done. No other issues. Okay. One signal integration using SDK is not a very tough task. You just have to integrate that, and once you are configured, you will be able to just create a trigger function. Once that trigger function is able to look upon, you will be able to drop this same message. This MSG will have to just create one more function here in this dot. Then only you'll just call that function. Once that function is called, that particular person, whoever you are willing to send the message, will be able to see the message. He'll be able to get the notification. Also, now we'll be setting up the API stuff from where any other person who is willing to chat with you, who is going to chat with you, will be able to communicate with you, or by which he will be able to see his message. Like this is the default function of Node.js. As we discussed earlier, it is an entire integration of the Node plus React system. Next.js is a proper integration of Node plus React. This is just a template got from Next.js. This is hello.js. What happens? This is VS Code. I'll be opening Thunder client, a new request. Okay. If I'll be making a call to this particular server, localhost 3000 slash API slash hello. If I'll just give a call, we'll be getting the response something like this. Okay. This is status 200 and the output message like this. We will have to just write up the code here of the Firebase handling. Just same thing, and that's it. We'll be able to just fetch up, like you will be able, you have to just create a data like for the entire messages. We are getting the messages, this code, entire code. This same code is supposed to be called from this function, import database from Firebase, same deref, same goes for on value, and anything else? Nothing else. Now, this is a response from request. You'll have to just first do one thing, console.log request.body. For now, I'll be commenting out this entire data, saving this, sending the request, checking the console. Nothing. It does not log anything. Now, into this body, I'll be passing chat ID as test2 and send. I got this chat ID is set test2 console.log this request.body dot chat ID. I'll save it out. I'll call this once again, hitting back to the console. Think this got into some internal server app. Chat ID. I think it's good to go with chat ID. We are able to figure it out. Exactly is the issue. We'll just do one thing. We'll create a new request. No issues. First, second. Coming back to the console. Send. Waiting here for the response. Nothing happened. Cancel request. No options. We'll get back. Move the set ID. Save it out here. And send. This worked for us, right? But I think we are facing some issue with this. Control C. Got the response now. Test 2. So, wherever we are having this chat ID, instead of that, we can write request.body.chat ID. Once the data is here, this array will be outside now. And this array will be sent dot sent as an array. Let's see what happens. We will be getting the error in the end, whatever. Got the blank array. Why? These are the keys. arr.push on value. Here, let's see. send. We got all the messages. And these messages, like over this particular API, you can create your own API. Once you are done with your API creation, you can send this particular data to the person whom with you are willing to chat upon, and whosoever will be calling over this API, this entire data, he will be able to fetch the data, he'll be able to get all the messages. Once these things are done, from here, we'll be just installing XGS, we'll be creating one more node, we'll be fetching all the data from this particular API. Once the data is here with us, we will be merging these both the arrays, and on the basis of this particular timestamp, we'll be sorting it out. You can put on any kind of sort like Google sort or something, and once the data is sorted, we'll be just looping it out as it is over here in the left right pattern. That's it. Done. So students, this was all working about the ideology and the system. By this, you are entirely secured with your data. Whatever you are having, it will only be with you. It will not be with anyone else. You can keep the entire data over your server on your system. Surely we'll be going to design some mobile applications for the same, which you can configure, they develop on your own. Once you'll have to just set it up with your accounts, your stats, and it will be available to everyone. It's free of cost for some public welfare usage. Thank you everyone for this entire session. This is all what we were supposed to discuss about and work over the software.